My name is Manny Moonraker. And I've been missing for a while, but now I'm back. I'm back to let you know that it's time for the damn podcast. That was a little tough doing that entry right there at the beginning. It was like, what am I trying to say? And then the whole mobile thing isn't working right. As usual, I am Manny Moonraker, and this is episode 191 of UFO Buster Radio News. And I've been missing for 11 days. 11 days. I was getting messages. People asking me, Moonraker, where the fuck are you? What happened to you? Why are you missing in action? What's going on? Did you get abducted? Did you get probed? Did someone go where no man has gone before? You got that right, Skippy. No, unfortunately, like I say, this is a podcast for the blue-collar person. The person that has a fucking job. And turns out that so does Manny Moonraker. And it was busy as hell last week, so I've been gone for 11 days. Trust me, I was not sitting on my ass doing nothing. I was working. I was busy. And, I was thinking about, why don't I do it on the weekend when I'm off? Why don't I just podcast? It turns out my mic is just too strong for my home, basically. And I don't have a quiet place to do it. I mean, literally, I could plug in this mic, and you could hear Bugs the UFO hunter fart an entire floor away. That's how sensitive this mic is. I've taken socks and placed it over the mic, and it still records Bug farting and licking his boys. That's what I'm working with right now. That's what's happening. But today is Tuesday. Hopefully, we'll be able to get 4 episodes in this week, and we can, sit back and feel like I've accomplished something here on this podcast other than disappearing. Other than being just gone. Totally gone. But, we're here to talk about UFO news. Not just Manny Moonraker. But if you're interested in myself, of course, you could always go to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and just follow me. For God's sake, just hit the fucking follow button. That's all I'm asking. Just hit it. And then hit the damn sharing button. And you can share it or retweet it or whatever. Not everyone wants to listen to me. A lot of people say that I'm condescending, that I really don't give a shit about UFOs. Well, listen, I give a shit about UFOs and the people that get abducted by them. I'm just here questioning where the fuck is the evidence. That's all I'm doing. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes I have a chip on my shoulder when I do it, but don't you? If you're going to go in there and post all this crazy feedback that I don't want to hear anyway. I mean, for real, let's get to it. Well, while I was away, I decided to change the way we do the news report. So welcome to the news report for today. It's about Canadians. And Canadians are they're basically reporting UFOs at a rate of 3 times a fucking day. 3 times a day in Canada, somebody sees a damn UFO. There's an article posted here in this particular description, as I normally do. But the article is, it's fascinating, to be honest. It's really fascinating because not only does it talk about what ufologist Christopher Rutkowski said, and by the way, according to the article, Christopher is described as Canada's Fox Mulder, if you could believe that. Hey, I'm just reporting what the article says. I don't know. I really don't know too much about Mr. Rutkowski, or Christopher for short. Because, hey, that's all I can do. I never heard this guy, but apparently, yeah, that's what it is. Recently, I guess the guy traveled to Duncan, British Columbia, and it's a small town on Vancouver Island. And he was there because they were telling a story in a documentary called Spaceman about this kid named GrangerTaylor. Now, this article takes a left turn. When I tell you, we started out with this great intro about Rutkowski, and then we talk about the fact that Canadians are seeing aliens 4.2 fucking far all the time, and then it goes into this GrangerTaylor kid. But it doesn't go in it completely. I was like, who the hell is GrangerTaylor? Like, I totally forgot about this freaking Rutkowski guy. I totally forgot about him. It's like he didn't even matter anymore. Fuck did they see all these aliens. Who cares? Well, they're UFOs. But who cares if they see 1,000 of them a day? I don't give a shit. I want to know about GrangerTaylor. There is a small little excerpt about GrangerTaylor and why there was this documentary about this kid in the CBC docs. And Taylor was apparently this guy who became obsessed with space travel. And one day, he left a note to his family and said, hey, by the way, I get messages from UFOs, and they got ETs. And he said, I'm going to go trip the light fantastic through the cosmos, and ciao, bella. Yeah, basically the guy disappeared. So I had to look a little bit more into what the fuck is going on with this GrangerTaylor. So check it out. GrangerTaylor disappeared from his home on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, in 1980. November 28, 1980, the kid was gone. He was 32 years old. He lived with his parents. It sounds like that dude from, Brazil or something like that last year who disappeared, who was drawing all the crazy shit in his room. I forgot his name, but no fucks given. I don't even care. The kid didn't even finish the 8th grade, but apparently he was seen as a mechanical genius. Yeah, no kidding. Here's some of the things that he did. He found an abandoned locomotive in a forest and restored it. How the fuck does someone who doesn't finish the 8th grade restore a locomotive? There's problems here, folks. Somebody did not recognize this kid's talents. Another time, he actually purchased a steam engine for tour and display, and he also purchased a restored vintage Kitty Hawk warplane, which he sold for 20 G's back in 1981. But the key word there is this kid, who was seen as a mechanical genius, restored this warplane. How does that happen? That's why people saw him as a mechanical genius. On the evening of November 28, 1980, there were hurricane-force winds ripping through Vancouver Island. And, all hell broke loose. You have hurricane-force winds, you better be tied down, like, really, really securely, or you're going up with the winds. They lost power on Vancouver Island, and Granger and his 1972 pickup truck were also gone the next morning. But he left a note. He actually left a note behind. And, yeah. The note was this. Dear Maja, dear Faja. I just threw that in there because it sounds cute. I have gone away to walk aboard an alien ship, as recurring dreams assured a 42-month interstellar voyage to explore the vast universe, then return. I am leaving behind all my possessions to you, as I will no longer require the use of any. Please use the instructions in my will as a guide for help. Love, Granger. Holy shit. Isn't that just bananas? I mean, it's so sad and so crazy and so wild. Could you imagine just hearing this being read anywhere? I mean, tell me about it. Isn't this just crazy or wild? Imagine you come home and your kids leave you this message and then they're gone. Just bananas. Bananas. When I tell you, when I saw this, I forgot all about the fucking Canadians and what they see. I don't even care anymore. GrangerTaylor is missing since 1980 because he says he was being contacted by folks from 4.2 far. Isn't that just bananas? So, the rest of the story is no one's ever found him. His truck, nothing. No evidence. Nobody knows what the hell happened to them. Then this goes back to Mr. Rutkowski, Christopher, that guy. And so apparently he's part of the ufology research organization up in Canada. And according to them, they've got UFO reports since 1989 that pretty much say that up until 2017, there were a total of 1,100 sightings that were reported across Canada of a rate of roughly 3 per day. The fifth highest the group has ever reported since it started collecting data in 1989. Now, what's even better about this is that the survey even says that in those averages, there were at least 2 people per UFO sighting. So that means 6 people altogether a day have been seeing UFOs. And the sightings actually averaged about 15 minutes apiece. Hashtag, where the fuck is the evidence? I just want to say that. You Canadians, come on. I know you guys got smartphones up there. You got it. I mean, you'd have to be basically on a different planet not to have one. So anyway, Canada's Fox Mulder gave us the lowdown, introduced us to Taylor Granger here, which really was a fantastic find for me. Taylor Granger, holy crap, what a great story that is. And by the way, I want to say hello to the Wildwood bad boy up north on the east side. Thank you for listening live. For you guys that don't know, during the week, because my microphone is so damn strong, and it picks up Bugs the UFO hunter licking his boys, I usually podcast on the road. And so I do it live. And so the Wildwood bad boy is here. And by the way, he's got a great Instagram channel if you guys want to check it out. Great pictures, great family-oriented guy, and he shows a lot of his surroundings, his neighborhood, and pretty cool pics you got there. But this is it. So another great story out of Canada. UFOs at least 3 times a day, 15 minutes in length, 2 people at a time averaging. You can't beat that. Now, all we need, Canada, is some evidence. I mean, I don't know what the weed thing is up there. I don't know what the marijuana situation is. But some of you have got to put some of that down and pick up a camera. Pick up a video camera. Get your drone to it. Do something. But stop just saying that you see shit and let's just do it. Let's do it, folks. We need this. Manny Moonraker here. That's the report for today. Check out the article in the description. It's fascinating. I really like it. I talk shit a lot about this stuff here. But this one, it's a 2-for-1. I mean, come on. How many of you knew about this Taylor Granger guy? I know I didn't. But wow, shit. That guy, somebody needs to find him. In any case, thank you all for listening. I'll be back tomorrow. Sorry about the absence, but the Moonraker's got to make some dough. It just doesn't appear out of nowhere. Or because it does disappear like Taylor did, by the way. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I thank you all for listening, and let's go out with some 5-0 because somebody even called the cops for me.